Welcome to Go Get Great, the podcast for aspiring entrepreneurs and ambitious small business owners. I'm your host, Brittany, owner of Brittany Miller Socials and mother of 3. Go Get Great is all about helping you make life and business work together. You'll learn about the fumbles that helped get me and my guests to where we are today so you don't have to make them. So come join the journey with Go Get Great. Good morning, everyone. I am so excited for today's episode. My friend Tracey Zusman is on with me today, and we are going to be chatting about our health and fitness partnership and how it's really been life-changing for both of us. So Tracey and I connected online a little over 2 years ago. I followed her on social media, and she was doing at-home workouts, and she was talking about just how incredible it was for her. And after a very long time of telling her no, I decided that it was finally time to learn more. And since then, we have been online besties. I actually got to meet her in person for the first time this year, about a month ago when I went to Texas, actually. So that was a fantastic experience. So a little bit of info about Tracey. Tracey is a mom of 5. She comes from a healthcare background, and we are going to be chatting about our health and fitness partnership. So I'm so excited to get started. Here we go. All right. Good morning, Tracey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
I'm so excited for our conversation today. So I obviously have known you for several years now, and I've done a brief introduction before this episode, but I would love for you to introduce yourself for my audience.
Okay. My name is Tracey Zusman. I am, first of all, a mom of 4 kids under the age of 9. So I live in a very loud and busy and chaotic household, but I love it and it's so fun. I also am a full-time physician assistant. I work in a hospital setting doing orthopedics, 40 hours a week, sometimes a little bit more than that. And I also run an online health and fitness business with the company BODi. I've been doing that for 8 years now, which is crazy. I feel like I just signed up and just got started. But as we all know, especially as moms, time flies.
Yes, it does. I was actually thinking about that the other day, and I've been saying, I've been doing this for like a year and a half now, and I have been as a partner, but I've actually been on my own journey for like well over 2 years now, which is crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It really does go by fast, especially when you pop babies in there.
Yeah, 3 of them, no big deal. So I've shared my experience and my journey and kind of how I got started and why with my audience before, but I know that you have such an amazing story, and I would love for you to share that with our listeners today.
Yeah, of course. So I'm going to try to make a long story short, but going way back, I was always an athlete growing up. So I played 3 sports year round. And then in college, I played college lacrosse. So fitness and health was always a big part of my life. And it just was something I always did, but didn't really know too much about. I didn't really know how to eat right. I didn't really know how to go to the gym and just work out by myself. I just did what I was told to do for sports, and that was it. And then after college, I kind of lost that piece of myself. I no longer had a team supporting me or around me all the time. I started drinking more, eating more junk food, and transitioned to the real world and then becoming a mom. It was just a lot for me to take on and to manage. And I struggled a lot with my mental health in the beginning because I wasn't taking care of my physical health. My mental health was struggling too. And so I felt like crap and had very low energy. And with a 1-year-old at home, my husband was working full time. I was working full time. We were shifts passing in the night, working opposite schedules. And I was trying everything to lose the baby weight. Cabbage soup diet, Atkins diet, Weight Watchers, you name it, I've tried it. And I would do great for 6 weeks or a month. And then I would fall off track. And I was constantly losing the same 15 to 20 pounds over and over again. And fast forward to when my baby was a year old, I stumbled across a friend of mine from high school who was doing these workouts in her living room. and eating out of these little cute color-coded containers. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That seems interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And she reached out and invited me to try it out. I'm like, you know what? I've tried everything else. It hasn't stuck. Maybe this will be the thing to stick. All right. So my friend from high school got me started. And within a week of doing these 30-minute workouts with my baby napping or running around playing or eating a snack in my living room with the pack and play right next to me and the couch on the other side, and then using those color-coded containers that I thought were so cute, I already felt the difference. My energy levels were up. I could keep up with my baby more. I was starting to like tone up, and I was actually newly pregnant with our second at the time. And I still was toning up and feeling better. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible. There are so many other moms out there that need this. And that's when I naturally was like, I want to share this with my sister and my friend and my cousin. And that's basically where the business blossomed.
Mm-hmm. And how long ago was that?
8.5 years. My
Wow.
daughter will be 10 in January.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
And now I have 3 more.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have about as many babies as I do now. You pop them out at the same rate.
Yep, exactly.
Mhm. So 8 years ago, the company looked a little bit different than it does now. Now we like to
Definitely.
call ourselves like the Netflix of fitness, which I think is fantastic. So you've experienced so many different changes. What is your favorite part of the new company?
Oh goodness. There's so much. I think the main thing, so when I signed up back in 2015,
Hmm.
I got my fitness package for the year was one set of DVDs and my color coded containers and my superfood shakes. And I did that 21-day program over and over and over. And I had to listen to Autumn say the same thing every Monday and every Tuesday and every Wednesday.
Hmm.
And it worked, but it was a little bit boring. And so I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2017, when we transitioned to the on-demand platform, like you said,
Hmm.
Netflix of fitness. That's been a huge, amazing change. Now when you get signed up with the same pack that I signed up with 8 years ago, you
Hmm.
get access for 1,000 workouts. And so I'm the type of person that gets workout ADD, I call it, where I'm like, okay, that was great and that was fun and I love that, but like, what's next? What can I do different? Like, let's spice it up.
Hmm.
And so that's been a really important change. The other change that I love so much is the transition of our name from formerly known as BODi to now
Hmm.
BODi, and just what that symbolizes, and that it's not just a journey of trying to look good in a bikini or have six-pack abs. It's more about feeling good from the inside out and really being healthy.
Hmm. 100%. And I feel like this new transition, the new name, the new branding, and what else is coming with it in terms of all of the mindset programs and options that are available for it has really helped it click more for me. So I started, like I said, over 2 years ago on my own personal journey. And then I stepped into coaching about a year and a half ago because I needed some more accountability and I was getting fantastic results from the program and I wanted to share it with more people. But one of the things that I found was that a lot of people just couldn't get past the name of our business. And they're like, we don't, like, I don't want to have a beach body. Like, I don't want to have six packs abs. And I was like, it is so much more than that. And I got frustrated because it seemed challenging to get people over that hurdle. So I am just so excited to be able to share this more with people that are, I think, connecting with the company and what we do as partners on a different level now.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about what being a partner with BODi actually means. So obviously I'm newer to this than you, and my interpretation and explanation of it is you do your own thing and you just share that with the world. But I know that there is a little bit more nuance to it than that, which you speak to better than I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I love the most about it is that number one is your journey always comes first. So
Mhm.
what other job out there tells you like focus on yourself first before you do your work. But I love that about our
Mhm.
company and our mission. So you work on yourself, share your journey. So through social media or word of mouth or with your best
Mm-hmm.
friend or your cousin or your sister. And then you get other people on board because you fall in love with the products and the programs. You're feeling amazing. Your energy levels are up. You're happier, healthier, and you want everyone else to
Mm-hmm.
be the same. And so
Mm-hmm.
you work on yourself, you share that, you invite other people. And then the last part, that's really where our job truly begins, is supporting them on their journey and cheering them on and being
Mm-hmm.
their accountability buddies, partnering with them to become the best version of themselves. So we have these incredible virtual accountability groups that we run. We work together as a team, which is amazing. I don't like to work by myself. I feel like I have areas where I'm lacking, like content creation or being super creative isn't my forte. So I love that we work together as a
Mm-hmm.
team and come up with these groups and support our people together. So in a nutshell, that's what we
Mm-hmm.
do. And then we earn income by helping other people, which is really, really awesome. And the bigger your impact is, the bigger your income's going to grow.
Absolutely. And I feel like the impact really comes from being so dedicated to your personal journey, not in the sense that, you know, you need to spend all day every day working out, because let me tell you, I do my 30 minutes and I'm done. That is it for my workout. And I love it because it has such a definitive endpoint. Whereas, you know, I work for myself for my social media business, and it just feels like my day can go on forever because there's always things that I could be doing. But I know with my workout, 30 minutes and then I'm done. And then I can just focus on, you know, spending time with my family and my nutrition, and getting the results that I have personally is what people notice. Like even my brother and Grayson, my partner, were very skeptical about me starting this in the first place. They're like, this isn't going to work. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this, for starters? And kind of like Tracey, I had tried a few other things. I invested thousands of dollars in a very fancy fitness program from another company, and it worked for a little while, and then it didn't, because it was so rigid, and I got bored eating the same things and doing the same thing all the time, and I lacked the variety and I lacked the accountability because that was not included in the program. So when I started with BODi, or Beachbody at the time, all of the things that was missing for me were just magically there. And that is what helped me be so consistent, because I was one of those people where I could do something for 2 weeks and then not anymore. But I had people that are like, how are you doing? How's it going? Like, what kind of results are you getting? And I was like, okay, like people actually care and are looking out for me and my best interest. And that really made a big difference for me. And then doing that over and over and over again, I saw the consistency. You know, I finished a 30-day program and then I started another one and I did another one. And the more consistent I was, the better results that I got. And then Grayson and my brother were like, okay, like this is actually a thing. This is helping. And then they've started doing it with me too. So the focusing on yourself, like you mentioned before, no other company has you start there. And that is what makes this a fantastic opportunity, and also the reason why so many people stick with it and get the results that we get.
Absolutely. And I love that it's more about a lifestyle too. Like you said, the other program that you tried was
Mm-hmm.
so rigid. And that was my problem with anything else I tried. It was like you have to completely cut out X, Y, and Z, and you have to work out for an hour and a half and do all of these
Mm-hmm.
crazy things, and you're starving and you're miserable and you're exhausted. And BODi does not rub me that way. BODi gives me more life and more
Mm-hmm.
energy. And I do the same thing. I go out and I go to my basement. I have my me time for 30 to 45 minutes, and that's it. That's all I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
The nutrition is super simple. You're still allowed to drink wine or eat pizza or a cheeseburger when you want to. It just really teaches you
Mm-hmm.
how to have balance in your life and not completely restrict yourself and be miserable in order to be healthy.
And the one thing about the nutrition too is that not only does it teach you how to do that, but it teaches you to do that in multiple ways, which fascinated me from the beginning because, you know, I've always been told that to lose weight, you have to cut out all of those things that you just mentioned, the cheeseburgers and the sugar. And they taught you how to still have those things, but get results, whether you want to follow the pretty color coded containers or whether the container system is not for you. There's another option. They call it to be mindset, which literally teaches you like the psychology behind why you eat what you eat and how that's impacting, your mood and I'm going to say the way you look, but like your weight and all of those things. So it is a lifestyle change because it is teaching you the skills that you need to be consistent with it long term and fit it into your lifestyle. And for a while there, they're still doing it. They have the catchphrase "Eat more dessert," which, by the way, I am totally a fan of. And there's no other fitness company or health and wellness company out there that encourages you to eat your dessert and still get results. So I love that. My chia puddings every night are like, I look forward to it. I love it. Um, so I was just amazed. I'm still amazed by the different resources that are available when you kind of sign up for this. So you follow the pretty containers. So do I. What's some of your favorite recipes to make with them?
Oh my gosh. So what's funny is when I first started, I would measure all my little um
Mm-hmm.
here's my chicken and here's my broccoli and here's my rice, and I would just dump it all on a plate. And it ended up being a lot more
Mm-hmm.
food than I was expecting. When you see the little containers, I was like, oh wow, my plate's like overflowing. But now I've discovered certain on our BODi platform, and I find them on Pinterest too, recipes that are great for the family, and they give you the
Mm-hmm.
container. So it will be like a stir fry or a casserole or some pasta dish that you make, and you use healthy substitutes and things like that. But instead of having to separate all of your your little food groups, it's all in one, and it'll tell you this counts as a serving of protein, and this counts as a serving, a cup and a half counts as a protein and a carb and a healthy fat or whatever it might be. And so what I've found is
Mm-hmm.
that I'm getting more creative with stepping outside the box and not just having chicken and rice and broccoli all the time, but we've found so many recipes that my family loves. Some of our favorites,
Mm-hmm.
there's a turkey taco quinoa bake, which is delicious. It's like a Mexican
Mm.
casserole. There's egg roll bowls, which I make for meal prep a lot for lunches. There's a taco chili cornbread skillet, which is also
Oh,
phenomenal.
that
My
sounds
kids
good.
devour that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that my kids really love is it's called a healthy Big Mac bowl. So it's like a Big Mac on top
Mm.
of a salad, but you swap out some
Mm-hmm.
healthier ingredients. Those are some of our favorites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those sound really good. I like those. You'll have to send me the recipes and I'll put them in the show notes for anyone that wants to try them.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
definitely.
think what some of my favorite ones are. I feel like I have learned a lot about the healthy substitutions, like you've been mentioning too, because my family was like a big meat and potatoes. Like we had pasta all the time, and I was in consuming so many carbs, which is why I struggled with weight loss for so long. But I still like to enjoy those. So I do, but I substitute out, like zucchini noodles or spaghetti squash when I'm having pasta so that I can still have a big bowl of pasta, but it fuels me longer and I don't get that like yucky feeling of being super full after the meal and like gross and not wanting to do anything. So I feel like I love all recipes still. I don't have like a particular favorite that I enjoy, but just being able to eat my favorite still, but do it in a way that actually makes my body feel good. Which I learned a lot from actually the third nutritional program that the company offers. I want to say 4 weeks for everybody, but that's not the right name. Gut
Protocol.
protocol. That one. Yes. My goodness. I found out I had a lactose intolerance because of it. And it really was illuminating to kind of see the effects that food has on my body. Because until I did that, I didn't realize that, those crashes that I would feel at night were because of the food that I was consuming, and that there were different ways to fill myself up in a sustainable way that didn't give me those cravings. And the
Mhm.
shakes that I drink, although I tend not to drink them as shakes more so, I tend to eat my superfood in my chia pudding and, like fudgy avocado brownies. I put it in that and I tend to eat my superfood more than drink it. But that has really helped me stay out of the snack cupboard all day and off the like scraps off my kids' plates. So it is just, it's an awareness that I didn't have before about how some of my habits were impacting my lifestyle and my mood and my mental state as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now you're making me hungry.
I'm sorry.
You'll have to share
I
the
know now I want to go and make brownies.
you'll have to share the chia pudding recipe. I'm interested to see that one. That sounds good.
Yeah, I love it. Hmm. One of the other things too that BODi has really changed in my life is my personal development journey, which is really big now. They've got all the mindset pieces on the platform, but hi.
We got a little
uh, before I would have brought mine down to say hi too.
I have my voice on. Go get daddy. Go get daddy. We can carry on.
It's okay. It's okay. We have been always really good in our group about focusing on personal development because of the impact that it has. And I started my personal development journey reading Everything is Figure Outable during one of our monthly book clubs. And that book changed my life. It really did. Um, do you have some personal favorites from your personal development journey? Because I know you've been working on that for 8 years yourself.
Yes, my all-time favorite, 100% hands down, is The Miracle Morning, because that is what
Mm,
has been such a game changer for me. Um, with especially being a mom, waking up earlier than my kids has completely changed my life. I went from waking up 15 minutes before I had to be out the door and, brushing my teeth and getting dressed and running out the door to now waking up at or 5-ish a.m. every morning on weekdays, because these little nuggets,
mhm,
if I wake up to them, it immediately starts my day in stress mode. And so just having that time
mhm,
in the morning, to read my personal development, drink my go-go juice, and at least get my workout in, starts my day on a better foot. And I just feel so much better heading into the rest of my day, when I get that done in the morning. So that book changed it for me. It kind of gave me an outline for a morning routine, and also just shifted
mhm.
my mindset about how important that time was. Another one that I really love is called The Slight Edge. I can't remember the author right now,
Yes.
but if you find it, if you Google it, you'll find it. And then
Yeah.
my most recent favorite is How Are You Really by Jenna Kutcher. That one was really good too.
Dana Kutcher. Yeah. I like that one. Yeah. I was reflecting on this the other day too, because I've always been a big reader, but I never read personal development books. I would read like mysteries. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, the things I could have learned and maybe like known now back then, I wonder how different my life would have been. Because every time I read a book, I don't always take everything away from it, but there's usually like 3 to 5 things that really stick out for me and that I'll implement. So, I have my morning routine now. I've shared about it in other podcast episodes. I've read The Slight Edge, and I also read The Compound Effect, which really stuck out to me too, about how really, really small things that have a seemingly insignificant difference to you on a day to day level add up over time. And every time I read another book and I take a few of those things away and I implement them in my life, I get a little bit better and a little bit better. And, looking back on where I was 2.5 years ago when I started my journey, I am so happy to say that I am a totally different person. I am so much happier and healthier now. And it's crazy to think where I would have been if I hadn't started all of this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love The Compound Effect too. That was a close second to The Slight Edge when I first started. But it's crazy. It is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Small decisions, like even just 1% of a change over time, can completely change the trajectory, which is really cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I have to share for my audience that Tracey is my upline. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, in the sense that she recruited me and brought me into this. So I owe a lot to her, but she's also like my inspiration in other areas as well, because Tracey retired her husband from his job, and that is goals for me right now. We'd love to bring Grayson home to spend more time as a family and be able to travel on all of the trips that Tracey gets to go on for our company. Can you chat about some of those opportunities as well? I was at Summit this year, which was life changing, but I know there's more than just that event.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that as part of my story earlier. I know I talked about us being ships passing in the night, and that was something that was really
Mm-hmm.
hard on both of us, and something that we kind of felt like we were stuck in until this company came into our lives. And once I saw the potential, I said, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to bust my butt for however long I need to give us more time together as a family, and however that might look. And so about a year and a half or so in, we had replaced BODi does not guarantee any level of success or income. It's based on your hard work and diligence. But we had replaced his full-time income as a nurse. And we said, why are we doing this to ourselves? We're miserable. We don't have time together. We don't have time as a family. So why don't you come home? And now he just works per diem, so a couple shifts a month, and it's been amazing for us. I'm trying to remember your other question.
The fancy trips you get to go on make me jealous.
So BODi has incredible incentive programs and incredible compensation plans that allow you, if that's one of your desires, and you don't have to, there's no requirement for this, but you can earn these incredible trips. So one of them is called the Success Club trip. That happens once a year. I've been almost every year since we started, except for, COVID. And you get to earn the trip for yourself and bring one guest with you. So I've brought my husband to one, I've brought my daughter to one, and I've brought my son to one. So that's been super fun to just kind of spoil them and show them what the company's all about, and let them meet other people on the team. And these are all inclusive trips. We've been to Mexico, we've been to the Dominican Republic, we've been on a cruise to the Caribbean. I guess that's it because of COVID. Dang COVID. But they're incredible.
Where are you off to this year?
Well, soon I'm going to Hawaii for a family vacation, which is super exciting. But next year is the Dominican Republic. Yes, back to the.
I was going to say, I know you've qualified for this.
Yes.
Like I knew you qualified for the one. I wasn't sure when it was. Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't decided who I'm bringing yet. I'm like, husband
competition.
But we got to figure out childcare.
That's the big thing. Yeah. So when I was making plans to go to Summit, I really wanted to bring Grayson with me because he understands what I do to a point, because he sees me do my workouts every day and he knows that I'm a less cranky human when I get to do them. But I don't think he's really seen the impact that the company has had on like a global scale of how many lives it's actually changed. So we really wanted him to come for that, but we couldn't find someone to watch 3 kids for a week while we were gone. But that's goals for next year. But Summit was really an amazing experience for me. I learned so much. It was the first time I got to meet you in person, which was really cool after 2 years. And I was just mind blown by the number of people there, for starters, but also by how much the company is willing to pour into you and to teach you how to be better and more successful. And this was my first summit, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but can you talk a little bit about like what all they teach you at these events? Because my mind is just blown and I can't form coherent sentences.
So Summit that Brittany's talking about is our annual convention, and that's for all coaches to come to, whether you are, at whatever rank or not, anyone is welcome. And we have keynote speakers. We've had Brendan Burchard before. We've had, now I can't remember her name. We had Kendra Hall most recently. We had Darren. No, I can't remember. Anyways, we have amazing keynote speakers. They obviously pay these people a lot of money to come and pour into us and give us motivation. They also have tons of successful coaches that get up on stage and speak and either give you tactical tips and things that you can use for your business, or really just motivate you and inspire you and share their story in a way that can inspire you to be like, wow, if she can do it, so can I. And what's really cool to see at Summit is, like Brittany said, the amount of people that are there, but seeing these people up on stage that have been successful in the business, and you realize they're just like us. They're just like me. if they're up there, I can be up there too, and I can make as big of an impact as they have. And just hearing the incredible stories of like where they started and how, you know, some of them were at rock bottom when they started, and this business completely took them from rock bottom to, you know, glitz and glam and all the things.
Literally, yeah.
And they're just literally glowing now, and can't imagine their lives without this. So it's really cool to see that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the stories were so motivational. I am not typically a very emotional person, I don't think, unless it comes to my kids, but I was in tears like a lot at Summit, hearing some of these people share, you know, how dark of a situation they were in and how they are just in such a better place now. So I really love that that is something that they're comfortable doing now. And I feel like that was kind of one of the big things for me. I know Tracey reached out to me, oh, man, I don't even know how many times, probably like a dozen or more over the span of a year. And I told her, no, I had no interest. I didn't want to do this. I already had like a plan that I was following. I was pregnant. I had literally every excuse in the book until finally one day I was like, you know what? I really want to dance again. And that was when I signed up. They had the Let's Get Up program that was just coming out. And then I was doing that and I was having so much fun in our group, connecting with people, sharing my journey, being encouraged by so many people in our Fit Jam. And she was like, you should partner with me. Like, you should do this. And I was like, no, I had no interest again. The length of time I delayed what I should have been doing all along, because I had so many misconceptions about what it was and what it meant and what skills I needed to have to be successful in this business. And let me tell you, there is no qualification other than having a passion for what you're doing. That's it. That's really it. Tracey and I were talking before we got started. Yeah, Tracey and were talking before we started recording today about, you know, tech issues that we were having. Zoom has been here, there, and everywhere for me lately, trying to manage PowerPoints when we have training calls for busy women build a business, when we share information about who we are and what we do. There's always things going wrong there. You know, a lot of the people on our team are not social media experts like myself. I should have no excuses for running this business, but we literally come from all backgrounds, and I'm still relatively new to getting to know our team. Summit was the first time I met them in person, but can you share some of their stories about kind of how they came into this business, or like what their background was?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have such a wide array of women and backgrounds and careers, and I just love to see that. And I love to see how when we all come together, like it's just magical. So I'll just, a couple of girls on our team. We have one girl who's been super successful with this business. She's a military wife. She has two girls. She got her master's degree in psychology and thought she was going to keep moving up the ladder and build that as her career. And I found her while she was finishing up school, randomly connected with her on social media. And she signed up to do this. She was a gym rat and was like, no, I don't need the workouts. I don't need the shakes. But eventually I convinced her, and she's never turned back since. Now she's like the home workout fanatic chick. She's got two daughters now. She's a work from home mom, just working this business, being there for her babies, not missing out on anything. Her husband has retired from active duty military. So he's went to physical therapy school, and she kind of helped support the family as he was doing that. So that's been a really awesome story to watch unfold. That's Jessie. We have Stacy, who has been with me on this journey she's been a partner for 7 years, I believe. So she started about a year after I did. She is an occupational therapist. She, at the time, had just moved to a different position where she had to basically cut her salary in half. But it was a much better schedule for her family. She's in the school systems now, so she could be kind of on the same schedule as her kids, but she took a big cut in her income. And so she saw this as an opportunity to make up for that loss of income. And she has, and now she's able to take time off in the summer and be home with her kids instead of having to pick up per diem jobs and things like that. She's come a long way in her fitness journey. She runs marathons and things. and uses our programs to
Mm-hmm.
help train for those. And she's become one of my best friends. Like, her and her family came up from Louisiana to visit me and my family last summer. Our
Aw.
boys are like little besties. And we, again, we're just random strangers that connected on the internet.
Mm-hmm. And we really do come from all backgrounds. I have a social media background, probably the only one on our team. There are lots of people in the healthcare field. We have lots of military people. We also have a lot of teachers too that kind of look for it to supplement their income during the summer months and spend more time with their kids, like you mentioned. Um, but none of these people envision themselves starting a business. I think is kind of the big thing with this. We kind of all stumbled into this accidentally, got amazing results from what we were doing, and then just decided that we really needed to share this with more people. So if you've been following along to Tracey or I, and you've been considering it, we are being so honest when we say that this was kind of accidental occupation for most of us, and that you really can do this.
Yeah, most definitely wasn't in the plans for me. Even when I signed up to start, I was just like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, just sign me up however you want to sign me up. And then it wasn't until I
Mm-hmm.
really started to see the impact and just how incredible. Like, it's the same thing if I found a really awesome restaurant and I would go and tell my friends and my family about it. And when I found these programs and these
Mm-hmm.
supplements, these nutrition plans, that was that same feeling. I was like, everybody needs this. Like, this is incredible. No one should
Mm-hmm.
have to drive 20 minutes to the gym and 20 minutes back. They can finish their workout in that amount of
Yes.
time and get better results.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
it just came so naturally for me because I felt so good and my energy levels were up, and I saw, and then when I saw the potential with the business, seeing my husband happier and healthier and not a zombie dad all the time, I'm like, now everyone needs to get there with this business too, and I'm going to help Brittany do that too.
Yes, I am so excited to be more active in this than I have been in the past. Kind of been using pregnancies and home renovations and starting other businesses and more excuses. Can you tell that there's a reoccurring pattern here? But I'm really motivated to make an impact because this has been such a positive change in my life. And I have got amazing results on the scale and just with my mood. You guys, I run two businesses and keep up with three children because I have a really solid morning routine that fills my cup first thing in the morning. And I have supplements so that I'm not snacking and eating all of this food that makes me crash at 3 p.m. and have no energy. The reason that I can do all this is because I do this. If I didn't have these things in my life, I would not be running two businesses. I probably would have stopped after two kids and my motivation level would be much lower than it is right now. So when everyone, and this is something that I told Tracey for a long time too, is I don't have the time. Be like, no, you don't have the time. You have to make the time, and you will make the time by doing this because it teaches you how and it gives you the energy to do it, which was really big. And we had a big change for our family recently. Like within the last week, Grayson actually has, we haven't retired him, unfortunately, although that is my goal. He's been working straight night shift for 3.5 years now because I had just recently had Talia when they switched and I was pregnant with Rhea. So he's been on night shift for 3.5 years now, and he just this week got switched back to days, which we are so excited about because the biggest thing for me was that he would sleep all day on the weekends. So we could never do anything as a family. I felt like I was alone all the time, like during the week and on the weekends because he was always sleeping. So we're excited to have him back as like a normal schedule and be a normal family again. But with that comes a significant pay cut because night shift always has a premium. So that is my now more than ever motivation to be able to help more people because I know that there's income potential with this business. And I feel really good about sharing it with people because of the amazing experience that I've had with it.
Yay, I'm so glad you've had such a great experience. And that's one of the cool things about this business is that you
Mm-hmm.
take it at whatever pace works for you. So, if you've got a lot
Mm-hmm.
going on with life and you're pregnant and you're moving and all the things, like that's okay. You can just be an awesome rock star boot camp person and get amazing results and do your nutrition. And there's no
Mm-hmm.
quotas or anything you have to meet. And we are still going to love you and support you and guide you. And then when you say, I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready to run with the business, I want to, earn X, Y, and Z, I want to do, I have these huge goals, we're there to run with you too. So that's really cool. You get to take it at your own pace. Whatever your goals are, you 100% can accomplish them with this business, but you can also, set your own pace.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you are ready, and you will be eventually, so I'll keep talking to you until you are. I know this will be good for you. We'll teach you how to do it. So, I did not come from a health and fitness background, which I thought would be a requirement to be a health and fitness ambassador for a company. It's not. But one of the things that I like to contribute to the group is my social media expertise. So I've run some training sessions before for our team, teaching, women how to use social media better. We've got another one coming up that I'm going to be teaching them how to use AI for social media. And there are so many different skill sets on our team. We have a lovely girl named Shay who rocks Canva like so much. She creates the amazing fitness trackers that we all use and you see in my stories all the time. And everyone is so motivational and encouraging. And it really is a diverse skill set. So we have women on the team too that kind of bring that background and expertise in the world of health and fitness. We have some people on our team that come from, I'm forgetting the technical term for it, but like a nutritionist, I think. They've gone to school to be nutritionists or personal trainers, and they see the value in it, in what we offer, and sharing that with people, even though they have their own kind of personal background in that, which I think is really cool.
Absolutely. And they get the potential with this business is a lot more than what you can earn being a personal trainer at a gym for the most part, generally speaking.
Yes, it's very true. And I mean, for me, it's just the quick at-home workouts. It wasn't realistic to try and bring a sitter over every day so that I could go to the gym for 30 minutes, or actually probably more like 45 when you include travel time. So for a lot of people, like, this is not only the best but only option that you have. And just sharing that with more people is something that I am excited to do. So yeah. Tracey, I feel like there's probably something else that I'm missing in this conversation. Is there anything you wanted to add?
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot here.
So, one of the things that amazed me is how productive I can be in 10 minutes or less, sitting in the carpool lane. Well, I'm not in the carpool lane, but I do know a lot of the girls on our team use that as their work time. But sitting in the car because my children have fallen asleep on the way to the grocery store, or sitting in the grocery store parking lot waiting for my pickup, I like to work on my phone. And that's kind of one of the big reasons that I have paychecks that come to me every week, because I take those moments and I make them work for me. What about you, Tracey?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I work full time. I have 4 kids. They are all in different sports, heading in different directions all the time. So it's very rare that I get to actually sit in my office at my desk. I'm like, okay. And when I actually do that, I get super excited. I'm like, oh, I have actual work time. But I'll sit by the pool while my kids are swimming and work from my phone. Like Brittany said, waiting. I mean, we waited at a doctor's appointment for my daughter's eyes yesterday, and I was working from my phone the whole time. But little pockets throughout the day where when the baby's napping and the other kids are, occupied with a puzzle or a book or something like that, I'll spend 20 minutes on my phone and check into our boot camp and check in with my clients and answer any messages or things like that, post on social media, share to my stories, that kind of thing. So I'm constantly finding those little pockets throughout the day, but also love that I'm able to be present with my family and not have to leave the house and pick up extra shifts at the hospital to bring in income for my family. And I can schedule my work time around kids' activities and around, the special events that happen at school so that I can be there for those. Which obviously is very different from what I'm used to with my hospital job, where you're there, you're in the OR for hours at a time and can't even have your phone, can't even hold your phone. So I love my days where I get to be home and work my business, because I can schedule my own time and literally work from anywhere.
And I think the one beautiful thing about this too is that, I mean, the business is our life, in the sense that we're literally doing this anyway. We don't have to dedicate our, an 8-hour work day to sit down and like me film content for my business or do work for clients. It's what I'm doing already anyway. I just prop my phone up, hit record, take a couple pictures, record some videos, and then I just share with people what I'm doing already anyway. It is so seamless. It is so easy. And it is wonderful to be able to generate income from doing something that I'm doing anyway while spending time with my kids.
100%. It's a game changer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is. So if at this point they've made it to the end of the episode and they're like, I think I could do this, I'm ready for some more information. What's the next step, Tracey?
So reach out to Brittany, reach out to your future upline partner bestie and say, I'm ready. Like, let's go. And literally what's really cool is that when you want to get started, the pack that we would help you get set up with includes everything. And it's the same cost when you start as a regular customer versus when you're like, I want to start a business, let's do this. You get all the same things. You get access to our Netflix and fitness for the year. You get a month's supply of whatever supplement you choose. And we have really amazing options. Like I want them all the time. You get the 2 nutrition plans we were talking about. And you immediately get welcomed into our family and our boot camp and our coaching partnering family, and access to all of the trainings and support right off the get-go. And what's really even better is that you can literally start earning income the day that you sign up. Like if you have a friend that's like, "Ooh, I'm interested, tell me more about that." You're like, "All right, I'm signing up. I'm getting you signed up," and you're going to earn a paycheck the following week for helping them get started.
And you know what? That's actually a great way to do it because then you have a friend that's doing it with you so you can get started and kind of have that accountability, but also that encouragement because you're there to support each other, which is a fantastic option.
Definitely. So let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Send me a message on social media or I'll pop a link in the show notes just so that it's convenient for you if you want some more information and we can definitely chat because this has been game changing for me and for Tracey and for everyone else on our team. I don't know how many of us there are actually on Team Pia, but I know that there are over 700 men and women in our Fit Jam of all ages too. That's the other thing. It's not just, for someone in their 20s or, the gym people that we talked about earlier. You don't have to have any level of fitness. There are beginner programs. There are low and zero impact programs if you are struggling with mobility challenges. So there really is something for everyone in here. And we will work with you to figure out what nutrition program is going to be great for you and what fitness program you should start with based on like the equipment that you have and what you enjoy doing. Tracey had me start with the dance program because that's what I wanted to do. And I love it. Right now I'm doing a bar class, which is awesome. I've done yoga. There's just like nowhere else that you can really get programs of this variety all in one place. I've done some lifting programs, some cardio programs. Those ones aren't my favorite. I don't like to sweat, but there are women on our team who absolutely love it. And the variety is amazing. And the community is fantastic. So I really just can't say enough nice things. So let's talk about how we can make it work for you.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much for being here with me, Tracey. I am just in awe and so appreciative of you for helping get me started on this journey. And I look forward to welcoming more of our listeners to our team. Thank you so much for tuning in to Go Get Great. I hope you found some useful tips and tricks that can help you make life and business work together. If what I said resonates with you, please share it on social media and don't forget to tag at Brittany Miller's socials so that I can celebrate you for taking those first steps towards achieving greatness. Remember, success doesn't happen overnight. It takes dedication, hard work, and a lot of spirit. So don't be afraid to dream big and go after what you want. Keep striving for greatness. You get closer with every step forward, no matter how small they may seem. Until next time, go get great.